The most dangerous enemy in your life is rarely the person who openly hates you. It's often the person who smiles at you, laughs with you, and quietly waits for your downfall. Think about that for a moment. When people imagine betrayal, they picture an obvious villain, someone cruel, someone easy to identify. But real betrayal doesn't announce itself. It arrives wearing a familiar face. It sits beside you at dinner. It celebrates your victories with a smile that hides envy. It listens to your dreams while secretly hoping they never come true. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling strangely drained, yet unable to explain why? Have you ever trusted someone completely, only to discover later that they were speaking against you when you weren't around? Have you ever wondered how someone who called you a friend could become the very source of your deepest disappointment? If so, you're not alone. Throughout history, philosophers, kings, warriors, and ordinary people have all learned the same painful lesson. Not every friend wishes you well, and not every enemy reveals themselves. Sun Tzu once wrote that understanding both your enemies and yourself is the key to avoiding defeat. But what happens when the enemy hides behind friendship? Today's world makes this even harder. Social media has created the illusion of connection while making genuine loyalty increasingly rare. Many people know your name, but very few truly care about your well-being. In this video, we're going to uncover the hidden psychology behind fake friends and concealed enemies. We'll explore why they exist, how to recognize them, and most importantly, how to protect your peace before their masks finally fall. Because by the end of this video, you may never look at certain relationships the same way again. Part 1. The Mask of False Friendship. The greatest deception is not when someone lies to your face. It's when someone convinces you they are on your side while secretly standing against you. Human beings have always needed belonging. From ancient tribes to modern cities, survival depended on having allies. Our brains evolved to trust those who appeared friendly because cooperation increased our chances of survival. And that is exactly why fake friendship is so effective. The manipulator understands something most people don't. They know trust is a shortcut into your life. Once trust is established, your guard disappears. You begin sharing your fears, dreams, insecurities, and ambitions. You unknowingly hand them a map of your emotional world. Carl Jung believed that every person possesses a shadow, the hidden side of their personality that they often refuse to acknowledge. Sometimes a fake friend is simply someone whose shadow is filled with envy, insecurity, and resentment. Imagine two friends starting at the same point in life. One begins succeeding. They gain confidence. They build opportunities. They become the person they always wanted to be. The other smiles and applauds. But inside, something darker grows. Every achievement becomes a reminder of their own frustrations. Every success becomes a mirror reflecting their insecurities. Instead of becoming inspired, they become threatened. This is where fake friendship often begins, not with hatred, with comparison. Nietzsche observed that envy is one of humanity's most underestimated emotions. People rarely admit feeling envious because it damages their self-image. Instead, envy disguises itself as criticism, passive aggression, sarcasm, or subtle discouragement. Pay attention to people who celebrate your failures more passionately than your successes. Pay attention to those who disappear when your life improves. Pay attention to those who constantly remind you of your mistakes but rarely acknowledge your growth. A true friend feels joy when you rise. A fake friend feels anxiety because your success challenges the story they've been telling themselves. The tragedy is that many people don't discover this until years later. They continue investing loyalty into relationships that quietly drain their energy. Like a tree surrounded by hidden parasites, they wonder why they feel weaker despite being surrounded by so many people. And that leads us to a deeper question. If fake friends wear masks so convincingly, how can you recognize them before they reveal their true intentions? Part 2. The Hidden Language of Envy. Not everyone who claps for you is proud of you. Sometimes the loudest applause hides the deepest resentment. Most people imagine envy as something obvious, a jealous glare, a bitter comment, an open expression of resentment. But real envy is rarely that transparent. It is subtle, it is patient, And perhaps most frightening of all, it often disguises itself as friendship. Think about a time when something wonderful happened in your life. Maybe you got a promotion, started a successful project, improved your health, or achieved a dream you had worked toward for years. The people who genuinely love you probably felt excited. Their happiness was immediate and effortless because your victory did not threaten their sense of self. But for others, your success created an internal conflict. They wanted to appear supportive, yet deep down, they felt uncomfortable. Why? Because every human being unconsciously compares themselves to others. The philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer once suggested that comparison is one of the greatest sources of suffering. We often measure our worth not by who we were yesterday, but by how we stack up against the people around us. This creates a dangerous psychological trap. Your success becomes evidence of their perceived failure. And suddenly, without saying a word, you become a reminder of everything they believe they haven't accomplished. This is why hidden enemies often reveal themselves through subtle behaviors. Notice how some people react when good things happen to you. Their smile seems forced, their congratulations feel empty, they immediately change the subject, or even worse, they find a way to diminish your achievement. You tell them exciting news. They respond with, "That's nice, but let's see how long it lasts." You share a victory. They instantly point out someone who achieved something bigger. You express pride. They remind you of an old mistake. At first, these comments seem harmless, but psychology tells us that repeated small behaviors often reveal deeper motivations. The hidden enemy rarely attacks directly. Direct attacks expose intention. Instead, they prefer tiny cuts, tiny doubts, tiny discouragements, tiny reminders that you're not as special as you think. Over time, these moments accumulate, like drops of water slowly eroding stone. The goal isn't necessarily to destroy you overnight, it's to weaken your confidence little by little, to make you question yourself, to make you hesitate before taking the next step forward. And here's what makes this especially dangerous. Many hidden enemies don't even realize what they're doing. Their envy operates beneath conscious awareness. They genuinely believe they're being honest, realistic, or helpful. Yet their words consistently pull you downward, rather than lifting you higher. This is why emotional intelligence is so important. You must learn to listen not only to what people say, but to the emotional pattern behind their words. Ask yourself, do I feel stronger after spending time with this person? Do they encourage growth? Do they celebrate my victories? Or do I constantly leave their presence feeling smaller than before? Because your emotions often notice the truth long before your mind is willing to accept it. And once you begin recognizing these patterns, another uncomfortable reality emerges. Sometimes the most dangerous hidden enemies are not strangers. Sometimes they are the people who know you best. The people who know exactly where you're vulnerable. The people who know exactly where to strike. Part 3. Why hidden enemies know exactly where to hurt you. A stranger can wound your body, but only someone close can wound your spirit. The deepest betrayals rarely come from people we distrust. They come from people we welcomed into our lives. People who sat at our tables, people who listened to our stories, people who learned our fears, and that is what makes hidden enemies so powerful. They possess information that outsiders don't. A stranger doesn't know your insecurities. A stranger doesn't know the dream you're afraid to pursue. A stranger doesn't know the childhood wound you still carry, but someone close to you does. And if that person secretly resents you, they hold something more dangerous than anger. They hold access. Think about a castle in ancient times. The strongest walls could withstand armies for years. Massive gates, armed guards, and thick stone defenses protected the kingdom from external threats. Yet history repeatedly shows that many kingdoms did not fall because enemies attacked from outside. They fell because someone inside opened the gate. The same principle applies to human relationships. Most people spend their lives protecting themselves from obvious threats. They are cautious around strangers, careful around competitors, suspicious of people who openly dislike them, but they rarely protect themselves from people they trust. That is where betrayal enters. Carl Jung observed that what hurts us most often comes from the places where we feel safest. The more trust involved, the greater the emotional impact when that trust is broken. This explains why a single betrayal from a friend can hurt more than years of criticism from an enemy. An enemy's attack confirms what you already expected. A friend's betrayal destroys what you believed, and when that happens, something shifts inside us. we begin questioning our judgment. How did I not see it? Were they ever really my friend? Can I trust anyone? These questions are painful because betrayal doesn't only damage relationships, it damages certainty. Suddenly, the world feels less predictable, less secure, less understandable. This is why many people become emotionally guarded after being betrayed. Not because they hate people, but because they fear being deceived again. Yet there is another lesson hidden inside every betrayal, a lesson most people miss. When someone uses your vulnerabilities against you, they reveal far more about themselves than about you. Strong people do not need to exploit weakness. Secure people do not need to undermine others. Confident people do not need to destroy someone's trust. Only deeply wounded individuals feel compelled to do that. Buddha taught that holding on to hatred is like grasping a hot coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else. Eventually, the person holding it gets burned, and this is often what happens to hidden enemies. Their resentment consumes them long before it harms their target. They spend years obsessing over someone else's life while neglecting their own growth. They become prisoners of comparison, prisoners of bitterness, prisoners of envy. But here's the crucial question. If fake friends and hidden enemies are driven by insecurity and resentment, how do you protect yourself without becoming cold, cynical, or distrustful of everyone around you? The answer may be the most important lesson of all. Part 4. Detachment without bitterness. The art of emotional intelligence. The goal is not to hate people less. The goal is to depend on them wisely. After betrayal, most people fall into one of two extremes. They either become overly trusting again, repeating the same cycle, or they become emotionally closed off, building invisible walls around their heart. But wisdom exists in neither extreme. It exists in awareness. Detachment does not mean isolation. It means clarity. It means seeing people for who they are, not who you hope they will become. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This strength is what protects you from both fake friends and hidden enemies. Because when you are internally grounded, external opinions lose their power over you. You stop needing validation from everyone. You stop oversharing your dreams with people who have not earned access to them, and you stop confusing familiarity with loyalty. Think of emotional intelligence like a filter. Not everyone deserves the same level of access to your life. Some people are meant for conversation, some for companionship, and only a few for true trust. One of the biggest mistakes people make is giving deep access to surface-level people. They share their ambitions too early. They reveal their weaknesses too openly. They assume kindness equals loyalty. But kindness is not commitment. Smiles are not proof of sincerity. Time and consistency are the real evidence. A wise person observes before they invest. They watch patterns, not moments, because anyone can act good for a day, but very few can remain consistent over time. And here lies the final transformation. Once you understand the psychology of fake friends and hidden enemies, your life does not become colder, it becomes clearer. You begin to value quality over quantity in relationships. You learn that silence is sometimes protection, and distance is sometimes wisdom. You stop trying to expose people because time exposes everyone eventually. As the philosopher Seneca said, "While we wait for life, life passes." So instead of obsessing over who is real and who is fake, you focus on becoming someone whose life is too stable to be shaken by either. You become less reactive, less dependent, more aware, and more selective with your energy. Because in the end, the greatest protection against hidden enemies is not suspicion, it is self-respect. When you respect your own peace, you stop allowing anyone, friend or foe, to disturb it without consequence. And slowly, something powerful happens. The masks around you may not change, but your ability to see through them does, and that is where true freedom begins. Not everyone will celebrate your rise. Not everyone who laughs with you means you well, but not everyone needs to. Because your life was never meant to be a performance for everyone's approval. It was meant to be protected, directed, and lived with awareness. And once you understand that you no longer fear fake friends, you simply recognize them and continue walking forward anyway.